Okay, so we are back, and that's the last part of the part two, and question 23 to 30, and it's closed question. And I will also give you 10 minutes to finish that. Then we will discuss about it. So you can start it now. Okay, so let's start explain our last part, and do the answer first. The answer is B, C, B, C. So B, C, B, C, and A, D, B, C. So A, D, B, and C. Okay, so I have to do it smaller and down. Okay, I will read it once. So, water shortages are a chronic problem in Taiwan. The rainfall around the island is relatively plentiful. It is too concentrated in certain areas and within certain months of year to be put into effective use. To cope with future water demands, the government has announced a plan to build a seawater desalination plants, a welcome addition to two such plants already existing. The method most likely to be adopted in these plants is reverse osmosis, one of the least expensive methods of turning seawater into fresh water. Osmosis refers to the tendency of water to pass through a semi-permeable membrane into seawater where the sunlight concentration is higher, thus equalizing the concentration on either side of the membrane. Reverse osmosis makes water move in the opposite direction. If we put the seawater under pressure, the pure water molecule from the seawater will pass through the membrane, leaving a large salt molecule behind. Okay, so start from the first sentence. Water shortage, subject, are, verb, a chronic problem in Taiwan. So this implies the place. I think it's easy. So water shortage are a chronic problem in Taiwan. 它是一个慢性的问题。So low rainfall around island is relatively plentiful. So low is a conjunction, so should be followed by a complete sentence. Low rainfall. Okay, rainfall is the subject. Around island, just a adverb. So rainfall is relatively. So it's also adverb. So rainfall rainfall is relatively plentiful. So plentiful is an adjective. So we want to give more information about an adjective. We should use the adverb relatively. So rainfall around the island is relatively plentiful, and it is too concentrated to be put into effective use. So subject and verb, and to is a very often used structure. So to something, to do something. So 太怎么样以至于不能怎么样。So it is to concentrate in certain area, to concentrate in certain area, and within certain months of year. So in certain area and within certain months and years are the two things that they want to be compared and put together because they have the same form. So just like it is to concentrate in certain areas, and it is to concentrate within certain month of years. Okay, so use and to combine these two, and it's too concentrated to be put into effective use. So to be put into 就是 to be put into use 就是被使用这样子。Effective 被有效率的使用 to be put into effective use. Okay, so to you will just choose C if you be familiar with this kind of structure. And on to cope with, so cope with 就是 它意思是 cope with 就是对抗的意思。To cope with future water demands. So in order to cope. So here to means in order to. In order to cope with. So it's just a phrase. To cope with future water demands, the government subject. The government has announced. So okay, it's annoying. The government has announced. Okay, has announced. So it's a 完成式 has announced a plan, announced something in order to has announced a plan to build a seawater desalination plants. Okay, so this to be because we cannot use two verbs, so we have to use to plus be or VING, and here the meaning is in order to. So we say the government has announced a plan to build a the government has announced a plan to build. Actually, it's not quite like in order to. It's announce a plan to build a seawater desalination plant. So the plan is used to build a seawater desalination plant. Okay, and which is a welcome addition to such plants already existing. Okay, two plants, a welcome addition to two such plants already existing. Okay, it's just a phrase, not a sentence. So which is, yeah, we deleted which is and just leave a welcome addition to two such plants already existing. So 就是已经有两个已经先建好了，然后位元有两座增添强大的生力军，就是它要先建新的氮化厂来就是加强原本之外加强原本的两座，大概是这个意思。Okay, so next paragraph. The method most likely to be adopted in these plants is reverse osmosis. Okay, so this is the verb, and this whole sentence is a subject. The method most likely to be adapted in these plants. So the method is the subject. Okay, the method is the subject. The method is osmosis. The method is osmosis. Osmosis. Okay, and what kind of method? The method which is most likely to be adopted. So we delete which and is because 关系代名词加 be 动词，我们可以把它省略掉。So the method most likely to be adapt in. Okay, this is a phrase you have to remember. Adapted in this plant is reverse osmosis. Okay, which is one of the least expensive method of turning seawater into fresh water. Okay, which is common, which is 非限定用法 and we delete which is just leave one of. Okay, which is one of the least expensive. The least, so 是一个最高级的用法。The least expensive. So we will say less expensive, expensive, less expensive, the least expensive. So like this kind of usage. So the least expensive method of doing something. So of should follow by a VING or none, because of 是一个 preposition 介系词。So should follow by not a verb but none or VING. So one of the least expensive method of turning seawater, turning A into B, means we change A into B. So turn A into B. Turn A into B. So turning seawater into fresh water. Okay. And next sentence. osmosis subject refers to verb, refers to, this to is a preposition, so followed by a noun, refers to the tendency of water to pass through. This to is used to combine with a verb, so it's not a preposition. 它是一个不定词。So to pass refer to the tendency of water to pass through a semi-permeable membrane into seawater. Okay, so let's read it carefully. On osmosis refer to the tendency of water. So the water to pass through a semi-permeable membrane into seawater. Okay, so into seawater. So the water. So this two sentences combined into one, and here tendency of water, which is to pass through a semi-permeable membrane into seawater. And seawater is the place where the saline concentration is higher. Okay, so this where 它是一个关系副词的用法。So the place where, so we say the saline concentration is higher somewhere. Okay, the saline concentration is higher. Okay, this is a complete sentence, but we use it to imply the place. So the place where, okay, the place where the saline concentration is higher. Okay, the place, but we can delete the place because we already have the place. The place is seawater, so we just say seawater where the saline concentration is higher. Okay, so this sentence is a little bit complicated because it composed of lots of sentences. And into seawater where the saline concentration is higher, thus here equals to therefore. And usually we should follow by a sentence. But here we should follow by a sentence. But here 我们用分词构句的方式。So equaling the concentration on either side of membrane. So something equal. So here actually is therefore something equalize because equal is equal to, so equalize means make it equal, so we make something equal. Equalize the concentrations on either side of the membrane. Okay, and this something is referred to the whole sentence above. So we just don't want to write this, and the equal actually is equal to the tendency. The something is equal to the tendency of water to pass through a semi-permeable membrane into seawater where the saline concentration is higher. So it's very long. So here we equalize this. Okay, so therefore something equalizes the concentration, and we want to 使用分词构句的方式。So we delete something and delete equalize and change it into equalizing. So use VING to replace this. Okay, so we change it like this. We delete the subject and delete the verb and put a VING, so equalizing equalizing, equalizing the spelling, equalizing the concentration on either side of the membrane. Okay, we finally finished this long sentence, and it's 2 lines, 3 lines. Okay, and the next one, reverse osmosis. Osmosis, this is subject. Reverse osmosis makes water make something move. So here, there's a 2 verb together, but because this is the special usage, so make something plus V. This is very important. 就是使役动词。So, reverse osmosis make water move in the opposite direction. So in the opposite direction, in some direction is also a phrase you have to remember. In some direction. In the west direction, in like this kind of usage. So make something do something. Okay, make someone do something. Someone or something is alright. Make someone do something. So I make you cry. I make you feel bad. Or some usage is have will I have I think there's another one is I think it's have. So I have you put on your clothes. So 我强迫你穿上外套，类似之类的。Mother have you put on your clothes, and I make somebody cry. 我使谁哭了？这样就是 make and have or special usage because we will directly put a verb behind, and it's not common we use 2 verbs in one sentence. So make somebody. Actually, I think this verb might not be an actual verb, but I have to search for some data. So just look it as a verb. So make water move. So 28 just test you about the usage of make. So make water move in the opposite direction. And the last one, if we put the seawater under pressure. So under pressure is just a common usage. So we often say under pressure. I am under great pressure. 就是我现在有很大的压力。So under pressure. So we put the seawater under pressure. You just choose under. And if is a conjunction. So if subject verb, if we put the seawater under pressure, the pure water subject, pure water molecular is subject. From the seawater is just additional information, information for the water molecular. You can say just like the pure water from the seawater is just like the pure water which is from the seawater, but we delete which and is. We just say the pure water molecules which are from the seawater. The pure water molecular from the seawater will pass through the membrane. Okay, so the pure water molecular will pass through the membrane. So water will pass and something will live. So if we put the seawater under pressure, the pure water molecules will pass through. So pass through is also a phrase you have to remember. 就是穿过什么地方 pass through. Pass through the molecular and live. So here the common living is originally like this, and lives, and the large salt molecular behind, and it leaves the larger salt molecules behind. So leave something behind 就是把什么东西留在原本的地方。So leave something behind is a phrase. Just remember it. And leave the large salt molecule and it leaves the large salt molecule behind. So it is from what we pass through the membrane. So the membrane. So this it is the membrane, and the membrane leaves the large salt molecules behind. And here 我们想用分词构句。So which here is not and. Will pass through the membrane which leaves. So here this is which leaves. So like this. Which leaves the large salt molecule behind. Oh, you have to notice that if you use which, we will not put it here because which is already a subject. So and it leaves something. Okay, grammatically right and leaves. Okay, so here we want to delete which and leave. Okay, so this which and leave will be deleted and we change it into living. So we delete this and change it into living because it's a 主动的用法。So we delete this and leaving the large salt molecule behind. So the whole sentence will look like this. If we put the seawater under pressure, the pure water molecule from the seawater will pass through the membrane, leaving the large salt molecules behind. Okay, so that's all about it. I hope you get the point. And that's all of today's class, and we will stop here and we will continue to the reading part next week. I hope you can get some help from me, and that's it. So goodbye.